Hello again, I'm 1216 Hurricane, back for not another episode of Backyard Football Hardcore, but for a tip for facing especially a second human player while using their keyboard. I don't have a second player at the moment, so for this demo I will use the practice bot. Most people, when playing backyard football, tend to use a mouse because it's easier to pass the ball to the receiver of your choice and position the ball exactly where you want it. I also use the mouse when playing Backyard Football Hardcore with the Suckers team. But say you're facing another player who is using a mouse, and you're tasked with using the keyboard. Note that the Shift key or Control key is for throwing the ball. That will be vital in this tip. So let's select the keyboard. So here I have a randomly generated team with Dante Robinson as my QB. And for the purposes of this demonstration, I will go into practice mode. So we'll start at the 15-yard line. So here we are as offense. What you want to do is select the passing play that has at least one receiver that goes straight downfield without any turns or cuts or comebacks. I already have a Hail Mary play set up, so we'll use that. And wait for it. So here we are. After you hike the ball, what you want to do is run your QB as far back as possible and select the key receiver that is running downfield. So I'll select Ricky Thomas, which is at the bottom of the screen, and I'll be throwing to them. Assuming you're facing a human opponent, your opponent will try to run a defender to cover your selected person better than what it can automatically do. That's why we're running backwards with our QB. In that manner, your selected receiver will run off the screen and your opponent will have no idea how to cover your opponent because the mouse cannot hit or exit the desktop screen. Once you're far back enough, throw the ball and your receiver should be open, more times than half. So let's hike the ball and run back as far back as possible and move down to throw to Ricky, who is off the screen. Run down and throw it to him and the ball will go skyrocketing through the air and Ricky Thomas will catch it all the way in the end zone, wide open. So you see, since this was the dummies or the bots trying to go against me, and since it was automatic, they were already running a defender off after me. But assuming you're facing a human opponent, they won't be able to do that because your player will exit the screen. And so that way, they can't move their mouse off the screen to try to continue trying to defend you. And what's awesome about it is, Shift, or the keyboard, has no care about how far your QB can throw. With the mouse, you can only throw as far as the desktop screen is wide. With this one, however, you can just throw 120 yards downfield, end zone to end zone. And with the best of luck, your receiver will be able to catch the ball. That's it for this video. See you next time.